Views and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
The role of a woman in the society is to submit. Birth control are the pills of the devil. Education is so fundamental to the development of a people. Hang murderers. Simple as that. What am I voting for? Voting will change nothing.
Tout le monde haïtien, como ye. God save the Queen.
Broadcasting live from ILTV Studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And of course, I'm a member of the local Catholic Christian community. Well, over the weekend, I went on a powerful pilgrimage to Harbor Island. In fact, I celebrated Easter Sunday at the local Catholic church on Harbor Island. I think in a matter of days, I shall be talking about the wonderful treatment that the people, the good people, my people, the Negro people of Harbor Island exposed me to. And then, of course, a farmer, having gotten word that I was on Harbor Island, sent me an SOS as he invited me to visit his farm. 500 acres of land. And as I toured the farm, and he showed me the many variety of coconuts, I said to myself, wow, it is amazing how the farmer, faced with a highly productive year in coconuts, yearned for more land. But his successive governments have ignored him. I attempted to show him that I had influence. I said to him, farmer, I know the Minister of Agriculture. Let me call him. And then I called Renwood Wells. But unfortunately, I must conclude the best thing, that Renwood must have been in church. Other than that, I sincerely believe he would have answered the call. So these are things that I'm going to talk about. And then on Xanadu Beach, over the holidays, a Negro man was stabbed in his head and he passed away. And in the mix, we are told that the aggressor may have been shot by an immigration officer, which is now under investigation. And then I'm going to look at housing, because the Prime Minister has me upset as he accused the Negro contractors of padding the contract when they are hardly making a dime. So these are a bunch of things that are on my mind. But praise the Lord, my spiritual advisor, Bradley Roll, is here. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you. Thank you,
The
Mr.
people of
Monker.
Harbor Island were very disappointed.
Wow.
Today, I shall be playing ombudsman. We'll look at Carl Battle and a corrupt move that he and the state minister is making to make Carl Battle Chief Justice. But Carl, we're going to turn you back. We have the evidence why Minnis would be wrong to appoint you the Chief Justice. I am the ombudsman, and I got the evidence. And Carl, I haven't forgotten what Hubert Ingram told me about the meeting between you and Fred Smith and how one person lied. Papa asked me who I think the liar is. I'll be right back after the break. I'm the Ombudsman.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. We are also simultaneously broadcasting on radio, 105.3 FM, The Beat. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. Bradley, welcome to Freedom March.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Monker. I heard you had a swell time down in
Listen.
Harbor Island. People were telling me the news was getting to Nassau very quickly, that you were having a great time and that people were treating you like a king.
Listen, I must return to Harbor Island immediately. Harbor Island is perhaps the nation's best kept secret. I went to Harbor Island. When did I go to Harbor Island?
I think it was Friday morning, eh?
Friday morning. And listen to me. The people, my people, the Negro people, welcomed me to Harbor Island as if I was a conqueror, a general, having been to battle, won the battle, and returned triumphantly. Lord, I thank you for the wonderful people of Harbor Island, whom I came into contact with, everyone. When I arrived at Harbor Island, a Negro man, Brother Johnson and Brother Anderson, they met me at the dock. I was accompanied by my wife and Ras De Niro, and they offer us a ride to where we would stay. I told my wife, go with son-in-law, Ras and I. We will ride with Brother Johnson and Brother Anderson. And as the day unfolded, Ross and I began to walk the length and breadth of the island. And lo and behold, a buggy, is that a good way to describe it, my spiritual advisor? A golf cart.
A golf cart, yeah, I think that's what
it showed up. And a lady, she stopped and she identified herself. Her name is Lemmy Malcolm. She was accompanied by her daughter, Samantha Malcolm. And they welcomed me to Harbor Island and wanted to know why I was walking. I said, well, they told me that there were no more golf carts. They said, what? We're not going to allow you to walk. They then tell me that they will return shortly with a golf cart. And the next thing I know, Lemmy Malcolm, she returned, her and her charming daughter, and they deliver to us a golf cart. Well, Ras De Niro is younger and a very dynamic driver. So he took it over, and we were able to drive the length and breadth as the people them welcome us. And then I rested, but by Saturday, the word had come out that they had organized a party in the backyard. And let me tell you, when I arrived at the party, the people them, along with the children them, and the young people them, they were there to greet us. And let me tell you, there was hardly anything off limit from the menu. And lo and behold, the word got out that I didn't have a good chowder in a long, long time. And a lady who has international experience in cooking, having cooked in Europe and particularly in Italy, Luann Saunders, she made me a huge pot of conch chowder. And my conch chowder was white. I told her I've never had a white conch chowder in all my life. But my spiritual advisor,
Was it good?
listened to me.
Yeah.
If there's one secret I'm going after Luana Saunders. I'm in love with her
Recipe.
and her cooking.
Wait. What are you talking about?
I say I'm in love with her and her
I'm not
cooking.
cooking.
Man, she could cook.
Okay, so, okay.
And they party me. And as they partied me all Saturday, the next thing I know, they said, listen, we're going to skip Sunday because it is Easter Sunday. But we would, no, yeah, right. They say, but Sunday night, after we would have celebrated the Easter, we want you to return for a second round of partying.
Wow.
Man, they party me until the
Oh,
dawn
man.
of day.
You-
It was wonderful.
You had a good time.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
But meanwhile, my wife, who was not too well, I wondered, I said, Lord, where am I going to find some soup for my wife? And then lo and behold, someone flagged our golf down. And the lady turned out again to be Lemmy Malcolm. She said, Mr. Monker, you must follow us to my sister's house. And lo and behold, we went to the home of Mrs. Elaine Arena. And my God, she had a big pot of homemade okra soup. And I said to her, you must hear my prayer. She said, well, we know that if you're coming to Harbor Island, we know what you want. And she prepared 2 big bowls, big cup of soup, which my wife, it seems to revive her. Harbor Island seems to have magic down there. The cooking, the homemade cooking will revive you. And not only that, whatever problems you have on Harbor Island, they have concoction. There is a Negro man who's married to a half-white woman. And he seems to have given that woman all kind of children them. And as we talk, he told me he had various kinds of concoction. And I told him, whatever he has, I will drink. So this here, he told me, will strengthen my back. So I drank. And then this one is bitters. I told him, I said, real bitters? And listen to me, I horse back the bitter. This special concoction, because I am jealously guarding it, I shall not reveal to you the content. But this here is also powerful. And so, as we move around the island, the people saluted us. They welcomed us. They extended various courtesies. And listen to me, Bryland people are some of the greatest people here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I got a list of names. So I'm not going to shout them out today because I'm going to come back to Bryland. I'm typing out these names where I'll begin to salute the various people who've been extremely kind to my wife and I and Rastanero Thompson. It's wonderful. My spiritual advisor, as we broke bread together, the woman them, they asked me, where is the spiritual advisor? And I told them that I was still hoping that you would show up.
Yeah.
And they were very, very disappointed.
that I did. Oh, man.
Some even asked me to put question to you.
Okay, what's the question?
There are 1 or 2 questions that they've asked me to put to you. They said they love you.
They do?
And they really had hoped
I would
that
show
you
up.
would have showed up.
All right.
But don't worry, I find an excuse for them. I give them an excuse. I got you off.
But I was engaged in some
I told them.
emergency work.
I told them that you would have been engaged.
Yeah, yeah.
But they really, really wanted to see you. So to the people of Harbour Island, don't mind I'm not calling your name today. See all I got here? All kind of names. I haven't had a chance to sit down and type it out. I'm going to come back to Harbour Island because I am disturbed. Having visited Harbour Island again, there is a secret that I have discovered, and it has me disturbed. And in the course of the days, the weeks, and the months, I'm going to be putting pressure on this F&M government to see if they are genuine when they say that they will put people first. The people of Harbour Island need some land. The young people on Harbour Island need land on Harbour Island. Something has to be fundamentally wrong. That we, and by saying we, meaning the government, is a part of a conspiracy to move local population to the mainland. When as I survey the island, I see hundreds of acres of land that the government should acquire in the public interest and sell at affordable rate so that those who live at Harbour Island and has been at Harbour Island for as long as the former plantation owner can benefit. There is an economic miracle taking place, and I'm studying. I even had an opportunity to quietly slip off the road as I send a secret message to my people. And we met. And they were shocked because I had to impress one or two Bahamians who secretly took me to the secret location. So my Haitian Creole was perfect as we talk. Bahamians of Haitian descent who is participating in the local economy. Harbour Island has been neglected, and I've told them that I shall return. I'm going to return because the issue is land on Harbour Island for the local population. We're going to test Menace and see whether or not Menace really loves black people. For if he does, he cannot hold on to an argument that prevents the local Negro population from having land on Harbour Island at an affordable price. I've been studying it, you know. So Harbour Island, I'll be coming back to you over the next couple of days. But I had a wonderful time. And by tomorrow, I would have typed up all of the names so that I can salute each and every one of you who has made our stay on Harbour Island an enjoyable one. I even gonna criticize the Bohingi and its level of disorganization. I tried to figure out who owned the Bohingi. They told customers that they had no space to return them to Nassau on Monday. But when I boarded the boat, all they had was space. So somebody in Harbour Island and somebody in Spanish Wells obviously wasn't doing a good job. I'm going to make some recommendation to the Bohingi how they should give the captain some power whereby if customer shows up and he knows, independent of the office, that there is vacancy on the Bohingi, that they sell the people them ticket, as opposed to bringing the Bohingi having given bogus information. So there's a lot of things about Harbour Island. But fundamentally, there needs to be an acquisition of land so that the Negro population, the young people, can live, build homes, live, and benefit from the economy there. Harbor Island is doing good. I surveyed the marinas. Look at the expensive yacht. Came into contact with people at the Holy Roman Catholic Church on Sunday. And as I sat, because I got to church before all of them, and as the tourists them arrived, I recognized that I was praying with multi-millionaires, American citizens who were doing extremely well economically. So it's a bunch of things. And then, of course, I had an interesting surprise. A Negro man showed up at the Catholic Church, passed me an envelope, and I was confused as to what he wanted me to do, so I had to leave church. It hadn't started yet. And I said, "Sir, you give me this envelope and this money. What am I supposed to do?" He said, "I want you to put it in the collection plate for me." I said, "But your name is there." He said, "I don't put my name. Will you put it in the collection plate for me?" And I told him yes. But when he walked away, I opened the envelope. It was not sealed. I have to make sure that I'm putting the right thing in the collection. And I was impressed with his significant contribution to the church. So it's exciting. And I accept the invitation from a Negro lady who said to me, "Moncur, I need you to return. I need you to come so that you can inspire the young people and help to build their, their esteem, their personal esteem." And I promise her that I shall return. So to the people of Harbor Island, it was a wonderful, wonderful. Man, y'all made me welcome. Y'all made me welcome. My wife wanted to know what was this. And I said to her, "Woman, know ye not that I am the leader of the woman dam?" And I thank the man dam who took a leading role in organizing those two parties in the backyard. Lord, I thank you for your blessing. And Lord, I thank you that as I arrived in Harbor Island, I was hungry and they fed me. I needed love and they propped me. I needed rights and they provided. I needed food and they opened their hearts. Lord, bless the people of Harbor Island and may they get economic and political justice. This is my prayer. In Jesus' name, I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Moncur will be right back after this. Comments expressed by Rodney Moncur, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on radio 105.3 FM, The Beat. And we are also on TV, cable TV. What is it, my spiritual advisor?
Channel 224.
And Flow TV.
Channel
112.
Oh, 112, 112.
My name is Rodney Moncur. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. When we took the adjournment, I was giving you a joyous occasion that my wife and I and Rasta Nero Thompson experienced on Harbor Island. I must salute some of these people now because their treatment was so good. At the stage, I salute Marilyn Butcher. She is one of the women them. And then there is Lemmy Malcolm and her daughter, Samantha Malcolm. They provided the golf cart. And they led me to their sister and aunt where she cooked life-saving soup that my wife enjoyed tremendously. And then, of course, Mrs. Lillis Imlach. Mrs. Lillis Imlach. She was the lady who gave me, within 10 minutes, a lot of history. And she happens to be an upholsteress. My wallet seems to have torn or loose. And when she finished with my wallet, it's a brand new wallet, as she stitched it. So I wanted to salute her. And then, of course, there is Miss Dorothy Knowles. She is a Justice of the Peace. In fact, she's the first female Justice of the Peace on Harbor Island. She was appointed in 2006. And then, of course, there is Jasmine Bethel. She lives on Pitt Street, and she operates an ice cream shop. And then there is Vincent Johnson, and Angela Johnson, and Sally Johnson. And then I told you about Mrs. Elaine Arena, who cooked that wonderful soup. And she was happy to tell me that she was one of the woman them. I knew once she told me who she was, the soup would be a wonderful soup. Thank you, Mrs. Arana. My wife enjoyed it. And then, of course, there's Alma Roberts, who lives on Manning Street. And then there's Max Sterling. And then I salute Nathaniel Johnson. He's one of the local justices of the peace. And then, of course, there's Madeline Johnson. She also lives on Manning Street. And Kieran Sands. And there is Miss Lovely Sawyer. And then Aya Bettel. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but I'll tell you one thing, I can spell it. It's capital A-Y-A-I. And she is one of the woman there. And then, of course, there is Harriet Powell. Harriet, I almost couldn't read my own writing. Harriet Powell, Jessica Brooks, and then there is Romero and Margaret Davis, Mikel Sands, and there is Michael Sands, Tania Hutchison, Nancy Sawyer, Marionette Cartwright. She told me proudly, I'm one of the women them. And then, of course, there is Joanne Carey. She lives on the back road. That's Manning Street. And Mona Lisa Davis. She's as charming as her name. And we go down to Bernice Moxie. She was visiting. Goodness of mercy. And then there's Lisa Thompson and Sherilyn Stans and Grace Grant and Betsy Sawyer and Ronette Roberts, Sheeta Davis. When she told me that her name was Sheeta, I said to her, do you know what Sheeta means? She said, yes, I know it means to sit down. It was powerful. Sheeta Davis. And then Jasmine Battle. Dorothy Knowles, JP. choose one of the woman them. Max Sterling Johnson is one of the man them. And John Johnson, Wanda Hicks, Lestina Sawyer, Levon Sanders, and Luann Sanders, who is the chef. Man, if you want a new kind of conch chowder, Luann Sanders is the person. International touch she has. And then we have, well, I'll stop there for the time being, and I'll come back to the rest of the other folks. So don't feel bad. I mark where I stop. Yesterday was Monday. It felt like Sunday, but yesterday was Monday, and that is when I returned to Nassau. But I got an SOS that a farmer wanted to know if I could return to the mainland. He would like to take me to see his farm. I think the whole country is aware, my spiritual advisor, that I am the grandson of the late John Cox and Evelyn Clark Cox, who were farmers. And I believe in agriculture. In fact, I do recall that Pinling and the PLP had promised us that we would be self-sufficient in agriculture by 1980. Well, I went over to the mainland. There I met a farmer and his wife. Gregory Stewart is his name, and his wife, a charming woman, Yvette Culmer Stewart. And as soon as I saw Mrs. Stewart, I could see the beauty of the Careys. And I said, listen, I'm a Carey. You have to be a Carey. And she told me that her mom was a Carey. And I said, no wonder. They took me on a tour of a 500 acres of farmland. I mean, you should see the thousands of bearing coconuts, at least 3 types that they had. And I got a shock. As we drove through the 500 acres, they say to me that they have not been successful in getting any minister of agriculture to visit the farmland. Either a minister of agriculture under the PLP or under the F&M. And they say, we have run out of land space. And then they showed me the thousands of young coconuts just sprang. And the thousands of bearing coconut. In some cases, it looked like it's about 30 or more heads of coconut on the dwarf coconut tree. And then they introduced me, my spiritual advisor, to coconut water. This is the coconut water that they have bottled. They complained over the fact that they've had difficulty in getting a good spot here in Nassau, perhaps at Arawak, where they have the capacity to produce hundreds, thousands of coconut that can be sold not only to the local community, but to the tourists there. And then they said to me, do you see the thousands of coconut springlings, young coconuts? We have no spot to transplant them. And we are as competitive as the United States. But we need more land. And I said to them, all we got is land. Because we have 700 islands, 2,000 rocks and keys. What do you mean? They said, we need land in Andros. And I told them, we have thousands of acres. And we need land in Abaco. And we have been petitioning, trying to get at least 1,000 acres in each island. I hope I have their figure correctly. And they are what I call strategic farmers, thinking farmers, taking into consideration, as they pointed out to me, the constant threat every year of hurricane. So if they were able to operate in Andros and in Abaco, if there is a major storm that hit one or the other of the island, they would be able to continue the business. They also pointed out to me that gone are the days when the hurricane pushed down the Coconut Tree Dam, and importers, people who were in the landscape business, no longer have a difficulty with a coconut tree that is bent and or warped. And they showed me a coconut tree that looks like a U. They say, take for instance, we would have had to discard this. But things have changed where this coconut tree is regarded as exotic, and it would fit a landscape. And then they showed me the many types of palm trees that they have sold locally to the hotel dam. Why can't a minister of agriculture encourage production? Why can't that be done? And why can't thousands of acres be afforded to Mr. Stewart and his charming wife so that they can expand the coconut industry, and by doing so create hundreds, I dare say thousands of jobs throughout the Bahamas? I promised them that I shall go in search of Renwood Wells. It was then that I called them yesterday, not Sunday. Yesterday felt like Sunday, but Renwood didn't answer the phone. Renwood Wells, why are you making me look small? I told the people I know you well, and you would answer the phone. Renwood, you gotta go to Lower Bog to see the beauty of this coconut grove. Thousands, thousands, thousands of coconut. And man, the water is so wonderful. The wife said to me, you have the spiritual advisor. So I told him that Ras was not the spiritual advisor. The spiritual advisor was much more blacker. So
Oh, you have a way of describing people.
they
right?
were shocked. So they didn't send any of this for you.
That's all right. That's all right.
But you, my spiritual advisor,
So they're bottling it because
they're
I noticed the
bottling.
cap is sealed.
I got you a small cup because you didn't show up.
Yeah.
Hold your cup and taste
All right,
the
that's enough.
wonder
That's good. That's good.
of this coconut
wanna taste
water.
it.
Because apparently the Americans have come up with a wonderful strategy. They're now encouraging certain patients to drink coconut water.
Yes, yes.
You hear me?
There's some healing I understand in coconut water.
And I think the Americans would prefer the coconut water that is organic and grown here among loving farmers. Taste it, my spiritual advisor.
Wow.
Isn't it wonderful?
Yeah, it's sweet.
There is no
This is just
preservative.
coconut water?
This is coconut water.
Wow.
No preservative is in this. They gave me 2 bottles. And since my wife has not been feeding well,
great.
all I do is give her coconut water. All right? Isn't it wonderful?
Excellent.
Let's do a toast to the
Excellent.
farmers.
To the farmers. And this is in Harbor Island, right?
Yeah. No. This is on Mini Lutra.
Or the
Lower
mainland.
Bogs.
The main Lower, okay.
What I like about these farmers is they believe in production. And when they told me how they love production, I smile. I say, I could kind of word. They asked me what I'm talking about. I said, well, production and not corruption. It's a wonderful farm. We have to encourage our people to farm. Come, government. What time is it? It's the people's time. And the people need land. land, land, land for the coconut. And I was so happy when he said to me, we're going to have to send you 1 or 2 coconut trees. And I said, Lord, isn't that powerful? I do not have to beg. But guess what? I'm going to buy, because the price, I can afford the price. And they have wonderful coconut tree. And I want to encourage every Bahamian to buy 2 or 3 of these coconut trees. They're dwarf. The baby could stand up and pick the coconut. You hear me? And it's delicious. Delicious, delicious, delicious. The jelly would literally melt in your mouth. And you can even lace this. You know, you could do things with this. But they say that American doctors, I only go by what the people say. They told me and I believed them. They said the American doctors are recommending coconut water after cancer radiation and different kind of treatment. And listen to me, this is delicious. Would you like to comment on that, my spiritual advisor?
Other than this,
and the fact that agriculture is so important.
But yeah, and this is interesting because apparently when you go into a lot of the food stores and small market shops, right?
Yes.
You notice that on the shelves you have coconut water coming in from Jamaica, Taiwan, and other parts of the world. We got people here growing these trees, and there's nothing in this, Mr. Monica.
Yes.
There's nothing in this? This is just coconut water?
This is pure, yes.
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, this person needs to start marketing this stuff, man.
Listen, he said he needs, he needs permission.
Wow, this is interesting.
My God, Dr. Menace, if you could have people billing on Long Wharf. I see they billing, look like a house or something on Long Wharf. I don't know what the F&M is doing. But Bennett Johnson, I've asked you to go and inspect it and report to me who that is billing on Arawak Key. Not on Arawak Key, on Long Wharf. Because we need the farmers. We need to encourage it. All right? And so that is what is taking place there. Agriculture. And listen, if you're looking for good coconut grove, man, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you could have picnic there. And he has some of the most sophisticated equipment. You hear me? And he's also now raising sapodilla trees. And then all of a sudden, my dilly tree came up. It's like if the whole country know. I told him I got a huge dilly tree. And I met that dilly tree in my grandma's yard. And I was climbing that dilly tree for the first 50 years of my life. But I don't climb it anymore. And they are also selling dilly tree. Isn't that powerful? If every Bahamian could get 2 to 3 of those coconut, the dwarfs one, because don't forget now, the coconut trees that we regarded as being indigenous has been susceptible to some kind of disease that caused yellowing. But this variety that they have now introduced is disease resistant. That yellowing thing, don't work on them. So that is what I would want to bring to the attention of the public. And I call on the government to visit the farm. Come, Renwood Bells, visit the farm. Visit the farm, and I want you to be the champion of the farmers. And just give them land, 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 land. And let them farm. Let them be productive. At this point, I would like to give a belated birthday shout out to Belleria Hutchison. Her birthday was on Monday. So, happy birthday. You turned 60, eh? Well, guess what? I'm still older than you are. I'm 61. Happy birthday, my love. And of course, Portia May Barry. I also salute you. You are one of the woman them. And this is powerful. Powerful, powerful. So, Gregory T. Stewart, he's the farmer. And I think that the Bahamas government should encourage agriculture. Agriculture is so important to a developing nation. It is important to any nation. The ability to produce crops, to produce food. And as he took me around the farm, I put one or two secret questions to him. I didn't tell him why. I am convinced, having visited his farm, that we can grow rice there. I'm convinced of it, that rice can be grown. Because the area that I put a little question to him about has good water. And I think rice. Shouldn't we now start growing rice? I think it's a powerful thing. So I had to put the case for the farmer. I had to put the case for the farmer. Gregory and his wife, Yvette Stewart. I had to put it. And I'm still on cloud 9. I could not believe that the people of Harbor Island are so generous, wonderful people. Everyone I met, goodness me, angels live in Harbor Island. Lord, I thank you. I ask you, dear Lord, to bless all of the people at Harbor Island, give them economic prosperity, and touch their hearts, the hearts of the PLP and the FNM, to recognize that those people born on Harbor Island should live on Harbor Island and should be given land. And I start the rallying call. May the government acquire land in the public interest so that the indigenous people, the Negro people, that they will have land on Harbor Island, for it will be a national disgrace in the 21st century that these people who were born in Harbor Island must move to the mainland because the government refused to intervene. You better, because I'm in love with Harbor Island and I intend to help the people there. I'm playing ombudsman. See, I have this here, wearing my legal collar. But most of you who think that this belongs to the lawyers, that's not true. The first church, the Christian community, this is what the priests and the saints throughout the ages wore. So this is not just for lawyers. I just want you all to know that. And when I come back, I'm going to look at Carl Bettel and Ellsworth Johnson. We're going to stop Carl from being the Attorney General. Well, he could be that. We're going to stop him from being the Chief Justice. All right? What maneuver this is Ellsworth thing they could pull? Huh? What foolishness this is? Carl is not Chief Justice material. Carl has a judicial conflict. And I don't want minister now. Turn back with Carl, or I shall produce the conflict. Carl has a conflict. Carl, you're trained in England. You know the white people don't do it like this. You're trained, Carl. You went to London. You are London trained. What you're doing is unethical. Just stay as Attorney General. You shouldn't even have been that. Because you are currently before the courts. Carl, you're before the courts. Don't cost me to produce the document because I'm playing ombudsman. And I don't think that you should be the Chief Justice. I support the choice of Philip Rave Davis and Hubert Alexander Ingram. Stephen Isaacs is the acting Chief Justice, and to deny him the appointment would be to starve justice in her most vital parts, I am the Ombudsman, and I have declared that we are turning Carl and Ellsworth Johnson back. This is Freedom March. I'll be right back after the break.
Freedom March with Rodney Monker will be right back after this. Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on 105.3 FM The Beat. We are also on TV, and I'm playing Ombudsman. Remember, 1992, the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram promised us an ombudsman. He never delivered on it, and Minnis has not either. I also want to do a shout out to Miss Ashley Pacenti of Harbor Island and to Mr. Denard Anderson. I also have a shout out to Philip Brave Davis from your cousin on Harbor Island, Jesse. And then Portia Mae Barry, I salute her. She is one of the women down. Here in Nassau, there's a shout out to Christine Murphy and Bernice Hart. Bernice Hart and Christine Murphy. My final point about Harbor Island, and I told one or two of them that I'm going to talk to the Member of Parliament, H. Ricky Mackey. A Negro lady pulled me on the side to complain over the completion of the local clinic. She wants to know, when will the People's Time government complete the clinic? And she bitterly complained over the fact that certain medications are not there. Certain pills are not there. My God, Dr. Minnis, you are a medical doctor. Help Dr. Dwayne Sands to fund the clinic and provide my people, the Negro people, with the necessary medication. That has been a complaint that I promised that I would deal with. Well, let's look at some of the other national issues taking place. I see in the Bahama Journal a powerful headline: Gibson's extortion charges to be dropped. You can see the photograph of the former Minister of National Insurance in the Progressive Liberal Party government, Shane Gibson. You would recall how shortly after the F&M came to power, Carl Bettel got up in the Senate and told them, listen, the PLP ain't doing nothing. He didn't see why there ought to be any charges brought. But when they finished cursing that weak-kneed man, he then brought charges. You remember? And they came with all kind of charges. They accused Shane Gibson of doing something while holding public office. Then they come with all kinds of counts of extortion and so forth. But watch out for me. Watch out for me. And I'm not bragging. I say this with humility. Watch out for me. As I listen to the F&M, the Spirit revealed to me that the charges were drummed up, that Minnis was getting Shane Gibson back over the fact that leading up to the election, I told the country how Shane Gibson had given his daddy the gas contract. But I didn't lie. Minnis' problem is he thinks that Shane Gibson told me. No, he didn't tell me. I am an F&M. I have my people in the country. And so Minnis and those came with a revenge after Shane. But the Holy Ghost revealed to me that Shane Gibson is an innocent man, and I went to the court. I I told one or two Negro colleagues, I'm going to the court, and they said, Montgomery, how you could go use F&M? I says, F&M who must go. And as they brought Shane Gibson with handcuffs in his back, I showed them the power of the Lord as I proclaim PLP all the way. Suppose I was a coward and I'd listened to the propaganda charges, I would not have gone out there. And I decided I'm going out there because I believe that Shane Gibson was being politically persecuted. And I went. And boldly I stood my grounds. And as they brought the prisoner with a bad foot, hopping, I gave him the moral support that he needed by telling him PLP all the way. And I did not know that God had all them Negroes above my head. And when they heard their party rally cry from an F&M, isn't it powerful that God works through an F&M? Isn't that powerful, my spiritual advisor? There I was, an F&M. And God worked through me. I didn't go there to say that, you know. I just went to stand in solidarity. And God worked through an F&M. Everything about me is F&M. Come from an F&M family. I got the F&M facial expression. It's physical makeup. I'm a light-skinned Negro. Most of the powerful F&Ms are light-skinned and white and Conky Joe. So everything about me was F&M. And as I saw Shane Gibson, God moved through me as I shouted at the top of my voice. Can you imagine? PLP! And I heard a heavenly chorus hollering all the way, all the way. You hear me? And Shane, auntie, and cousin and them, and all the people them, they were shocked. I said, listen, I said F&M, but PLP all the way. Now, one by one, these bogus charges are dropping. Lord, I thank you. I thank you that justice is slowly unfolding. And by the time Shane reached the court, if it is your will, dear Lord, let him shout, freedom, freedom, because the F&M is mean and spiteful. So it's a wonderful day that the charges, my spiritual advisor, are slowly being dropped. Isn't that powerful? That the charges. The Bahama Journal has such a wonderful thing. Let's see what Bahama Press was reporting. I had an article here from Bahama Press. Because these days, Bahama Press seems to be the only news outlet that is objective. Bahamas Press is reporting. Well, no, that's the murder one. Let's see what is happening here. Yeah. This. What's happening here? Okay. There's so many things taking place. So I don't see Bahama Press report. So we'll go and look at the Bahama Journal. You want to read it, my spiritual advisor?
I do see here where, if I'm not misunderstanding here,
go ahead,
reading incorrectly, that the government will still continue to pursue bribery charges. Is there a fine line between extortion and bribery?
All I know.
What is the difference between?
All I know.
They're similar, aren't they?
What charges did they say they're dropping?
Extortion.
Extortion.
But
okay.
they say that they're still gonna go after.
Yeah. And it is my prayer, dear Lord,
bribery charges,
that by the time they reach the court, that they will be compounded and befuddled. All right? Because they know it is wicked what has taken place. And some F&M, and I thank God I'm one, must speak truth to our party. We must say to our party and to our party leader, you don't settle the political score this way. And I'm an F&M. You hear me? I come from a long UBP F&M family. And somebody has to say to the party, party, we are corrupt, we are dishonest, and we should stop the political persecution. Pass me that paper, let me see what they are saying.
Well, that looks like the journal, eh?
It's the Bahama Journal.
Okay.
It's a wonderful paper. There it is, Shane Gibson, right? There it is. Let the nation see that piece by piece, these pharaohs that we see today, we will see them no more. Lord, it's my prayer that you, having delivered Daniel from the lion's den, you will deliver Shane Gibson from these Philistines who are out to destroy his soul. The prosecution in the case against former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson intends to realign the charge sheet against him. The Journal confirmed that attorney Terry Archer, who is handling the case in the Office of the Attorney General, has foreshadowed that when the matter resumes before the court on May 4th, the prosecution intends to withdraw all of the 15 counts of extortion against Gibson, the former Minister of Labor and National Insurance. However, the prosecution intends to continue with the charges of bribery and one separate charge of misbehavior while holding a public office. Gibson, who lost his seat as a member of Parliament for Golden Gates in the last general election, was arraigned before a magistrate for the bribery and extortion of thousands of dollars from contractor Jonathan Ash. Gibson was served with a voluntary bill of indictment in the magistrate court in October of last year. At the time, he had the number of charges against him reduced. He was previously charged with 15 counts of bribery, 16 counts of extortion, 2 counts of conspiracy to commit extortion, and 2 counts of conspiracy to commit bribery, with 1 single count of misconduct in public office. Instead of the 36 previous counts, he now had 31. Last October, Magistrate Sabusula Swain said Gibson had 21 days to provide an alibi to the magistrate court, as he may not have been able to provide one to the Supreme Court unless it goes to the magistrate court first. Gibson attorney Wayne Monroe QC said this may be problematic, as no definite date as to when the alleged crime took place was given. It is very important for this young man to say exactly when it happened, so that if Mr. Gibson was in Grand Bahama and not New Providence, he has the alibi, he has the ability to show that it would not have possibly happened because he wasn't on the island, Monroe said. You see what they have done to Shane Gibson? They wanted an alibi. Now they discontinue the charges. You see how justice can be stabbed not only in her heart, but in her most vital parts. You ask a man for an alibi, and then you drop the charges. You see how wicked these people are? You see why Carl Bettel cannot become the Chief Justice? He cannot. And I'm going to petition Her Majesty the Queen. I'm going to go on Facebook and contact Buckingham Palace. Her Majesty is such an elderly lady. I shouldn't be disturbing her from the Bahamas, but I'm going to petition Her Majesty and tell Her Majesty that notwithstanding that Carl is English trained, he's not Chief Justice material. And I'm going to tell Her Majesty, if she think it is fair for Carl, in his private capacity as an attorney at law, with current cases before the Supreme Court, in which, when he took out the action, he sued the Attorney General. And now, he is the Attorney General. Isn't that wicked? You see why Minister was not supposed to do it? And now, in the course of him taking out that case, he accused, either directly or indirectly, the Chief Justice. Now he's going to be the Chief Justice? What y'all think? Y'all going to cost me the case, you know. Y'all going to cost me to say 5-pound words. Y'all going to cost me to say 5-pound words. How much play is Carl doing? It is only me, because I'm a talk show host. I am allowed to play roles. Carl is not allowed to play role. He can't be, one, the lawyer for the plaintiff. You heard what I just said? 2, he sued the Attorney General. 3, and by implication, allegations has been made against the Chief Justice. You see what's going on here? It is people like Carl who cause plaintiffs to get in the road and case them out. That's what Carl is doing. He think I know. He think I know. He failed to recognize who I am. I'm playing ombudsman. I'm playing investigation. And I know that Carl Wiltshire Bettle is conflicted. And guess what he has not done? He's not declared to Menace the conflict. But Menace is a Negro who is not educated in the British Convention. He doesn't understand the system. And therefore, he will play the dirty, nasty game with the Attorney General. But I want them to know that in our party, the FNM, there is one Negro within the party who knows the various roles that Carl Wiltshire Bettle has played from he commenced the case. Carl, what this says, you can't be plaintiff lawyer, sue the Attorney General, accuse the Chief Justice, now use the Attorney General? What you think this is? You think because I black, I stupid, eh? You believe because I black, I am stupid. But I'll have you to know, I'm not stupid, Carl. And I know what you are doing, and I don't care what else what Johnson say. I'm not cursing him out because of his daddy. His daddy was a good man. And I would sin to curse Oscar Johnson children. What kind of nonsense this is? Huh? What game is being played? Where Elspeth Johnson this morning is calling on the Prime Minister to do the law. What game is this? That advice is a private advice. We've seen this. They're playing games. Dr. Menace is playing games. Attorney General Carl Bettle is playing games. Elspeth Johnson, the state minister, they're playing games. But y'all better stop it, because I'm tired as an FNM. I'm tired of all this nonsense that y'all are doing. And it should not happen. I call this, Carl, corruption. I don't believe you're corrupt. But what is taking place, Carl, is corruption. Dr. Menace, I don't believe you're corrupt. But all of this is corruption. Elspeth Johnson, you can't be corrupt. Your father is one of the greatest heroes in our country. But what y'all are doing amongst the corruption, Carl can't be plaintiff lawyer. Has he withdrawn from the case? Y'all thought I didn't know, eh? You can't keep no secret from me. Y'all thought I didn't know, eh? I didn't look at the file. Has Carl withdrawn? And if he has withdrawn, who did he notify? Carl is the Attorney General. He sued the Attorney General. Now he takes on the role of the Attorney General. to the disadvantage of the plaintiff because he knows the plaintiff case. Now he could use it in the office of the Attorney General. And then when he becomes the Chief Justice, he knows the allegation against the Chief Justice. He will then use it there. You think this makes sense? This is wickedness. This is wickedness. This is obeah. This is underhand work. This is corruption. That's what's going on. Don't mind them. They're dealing with me, and I'm playing ombudsman. I am the ombudsman. And as I play ombudsman, I ask Carl to have some shame. Carl, you better have shame. Have shame. Because what you are doing is professionally immoral. And I know. Elspeth Johnson, turn back. Turn back. You're on the wrong track. You tell Minnis, not Carl. Stephen Isaacs. He's the man who has held the office. And I can tell you what Hubert Alexander Ingram told me. He has confidence in Stephen Isaac. And Philip Brave Davis told the nation in the newspaper that he has confidence in Stephen Isaac. Stephen Isaac, as we know, is a gentleman and a scholar. And he's been above and beyond reproach. Lord, it is my prayer that you would make Carl Bettel no shame. Lord, it is my prayer that you will cause Dr. Minnis to get up out of this level of ignorance and stupidity, because that's what's going on. How the heck Carl could be all of these things in one case? Listen to me, folks. He commenced the case, so he became the plaintiff lawyer. He named the Attorney General, and he had serious allegation against the Attorney General. Now he takes on that role of Attorney General and ain't tell Minnis? Did he tell Minnis? For if he told Minnis, and Minnis still appoint him, then it means that Minnis is governed by corrupt principle. And if Carl, having told Minnis, accepts the job, it means that Carl is governed by corrupt principles. And I shall look for his court of inn, or inn of court, whatever that is in England. And I'm going to write the Englishman and say to them, what did you teach Carl Bettel? What did you teach Carl Bettel? I may have to go off my spiritual advisor, because I met a mystical man in Harbor Island, and he told me, whenever I want to go off, I should drink some of this.
You drinking the right one now?
I hope. I hope. If
just make sure you drink
I disappear.
This stuff ain't got no label on it, man.
Listen, if I disappear, my spiritual advisor, just give me coconut water.
Ah, boy,
goodness me. Yeah. So that's what's going on, folks. We're in trouble. And I call on F&M to stand up. Stand up for Shane Gibson. Stand up for justice. And tell Carl Bettel, we can't have him being Chief Justice. Come, Prime Minister, have some shame. The F&M should stop acting like you're all retarded. We are not retarded. Our party, the Free National Movement, we are conducting business as if we are retarded. That's what we're doing. And I don't think I'm retarded. I asked my leadership to reject retardation. Oh, we're in trouble. When I come back, I shall look at how Dr. Minnis has accused Negro contractors of padding when they're making no money now. And I shall attempt to build a case to show you how ministers are overcharging for these houses and these land. They just opened 7 over there on Farrington Road, which was not an F&M concept. It was organized. by the PLP. Don't mind! Ministers trying to take credit. Damn house! Damn house! It was the PLP's idea. You hear what I tell y'all? It was the PLP. Us and the FNM. We ain't come up with no idea yet, other than Oban. And you know what that is? It's a gangster idea. This is Freedom March. I am the Ombudsman. I am the Ombudsman.
Do you have something to say to the Senator? Call Freedom March at 323-7775. Toll free from anywhere in the Bahamas at 242-300-0045. Freedom March with Rodney Monker, only on ILTV. This is Freedom March with Rodney Monker.
Welcome back to Freedom March, broadcasting live on ILTV studios here in Nassau, Bahamas. Simultaneously, we are on radio, 105.3 FM, The Beat. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll, who's quiet in studio, is my spiritual advisor. My spiritual advisor, how has been your weekend?
The weekend was pretty good. I mean, you know, did a lot of work for the most part.
Did you attend any church services?
Well, I normally go to church every Sunday.
Okay.
And of course, for me, every Sunday is Resurrection Sunday.
What did you do this Sunday?
This Sunday, yeah. I met around the Lord's table where we break bread. And we drink from the cup.
Which
the Church of Christ. Well, let's not say denomination now, because the church is not a denomination.
Which church
I
did
meet
you
with the Church of Christ. The Church of Christ is a universal body.
Okay.
Worldwide, and
Okay.
it's found all over the globe.
And
all right?
you all celebrated.
And we celebrated the resurrection of Jesus Christ. We do this every Sunday. We don't wait for one particular time during the year to do that. But I'm trying to figure out something here, right? Now, we have a acting Chief Justice, right?
Yes, we do.
All right. What happened to the former Chief Justice?
The former Chief Justice, Sir Hartman Longley, was invited by the government to become the president of the Court of Appeal.
Right.
Prior to that, to which he accepted. Prior to that invitation, the office was filled.
Right. So he's been invited. He accepted the offer.
Yes.
And then that office has been left vacant.
A vacancy was then created.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it means then that what should have actually happened is another Chief Justice should have been appointed.
Another
rather than a
person ought to have been appointed Chief Justice. Yes.
All right. So why do we have an acting Chief Justice?
Because.
Now, just answer me honestly. I don't want to be misled.
How dare you raise the question of honesty?
Okay. Go ahead.
All right?
Okay. Because I don't know. Why do we have an acting Chief Justice?
We have an acting Chief Justice because, one, Carl Bettel, the current Attorney General who advises the Prime Minister, a Prime Minister who's ignorant of the Westminster system of government and the convention.
What makes you think he's ignorant?
I know he's ignorant. This has nothing to do with my thinking. I watched the man.
Okay.
He's ignorant. If he was a Hubert Ingram, you would not have that. If he was a Philip Brave Davis, both of these men are officers of the court and trained in the law. They understand the convention. Now, what you have is Carl Bettel, who's up to tricks. We know that Carl wants it. All right? So he gave me this bad advice, selfishly.
You know this for a fact?
Of course. I'm an FNM.
Or are you grasping for straws?
I'm not grasping for any straws. Just look at it. Carl wants to be the Chief Justice. But Carl should refuse it because Carl currently has a case in which he is plaintiff counsel.
Yeah,
you hear me?
I hear you mention
Come
that.
on.
Yeah. But now,
That's
Ellsworth Johnson,
professionally immoral.
yeah, he's in the papers and he's advocating for the government to act swiftly and appoint a Chief Justice.
Yes.
All right, so he wants the government to do this. Now, why do you call it a game? Here it is. Now, he goes to
I
the
show you
papers.
what the game is. You would recall that some time ago, after the white woman from the United Nations came here, Mrs. Bukaluka, she...
Shabaka or something like that?
Yes, Shabraka. right? Just call it something, shabrakalaka, right? She talked about marital rape. Who would have been the first Negro in the government to come forward? It was Ellsworth. Carl Bettel,
yes, it was,
in a slick and clever way, strike it down, as if to distance himself from the game. And then all of a sudden, Carl grabbed it. Carl, being anti-man, he break off, run with it, and the next thing we know, Carl and some unsaved members of the Bahamas Christian Council got together, and the Christian Council played game with Carl. Carl say 10 years, the Christian Council say life in prison, so Carl could get his 10 years. So we know that Carl and Ellsworth work game. Carl now wants to go to be the Chief Justice. Once Carl becomes Chief Justice, he would no longer be Carl. He would be Sir Carl. His wife would be Lady Carl.
Wow.
Then there's big pension and so forth, right? But Carl has not demonstrated a kind of eloquence that he ought to, a kind of professional morality. By his action, we can say that Carl is professionally immoral. Why do I say that? Carl is an attorney for a plaintiff who levies serious allegation against the office of the Attorney General and the office of the Chief Justice.
All right.
Carl knows what the secret are. Carl has plaintiff file. Carl knows what plaintiff has told him in confidence. You see what happened?
So that means it hasn't conflicted then?
Carl is triple conflicted. First conflict, he is the attorney for the plaintiff. Second conflict, he now takes the office of the Attorney General that he sued. Second conflict. And now, the final and the most outrageous, and if I could use this big word, the most abomination or a boom in the nation is the fact that he conspires with men unknown to wrestle the office of Chief Justice, having misled, I submit, the Prime Minister, Dr. the Honorable Hubert Alexander Minnis, who is not trained in the law. See, this is the first time in the history of an independent Bahamas that we have a Prime Minister who is not trained in the law. Prior to this,
He's a doctor.
It was Sir Roland Simonet when he was Premier. And Stafford Sands grabbed Sir Roland and run things. There is nobody in the FNM who can grab Dr. Minnis in a headlock politically and lead him. Minnis doing his own thing. Minnis is going funky. And that is what is taking place here. All right? So we are in trouble. Right? We are in trouble. So there it is. Now Carl has set up
I hear you.
to become the Chief Justice. Carl, you better turn back. Before you force me to go into the records of the Supreme Court and bring your client business and put it on TV. And I'm protected by the law because they are public records. And Carl, I'm prepared to raise the money and buy all of that file and put it right here. So the question is yours. The choice is yours, Carl. Turn back. You're not going to be the Chief Justice. All right? And Minnis, I want you to stop operating the government as if the government is retarded. It's amazing. The FNM is operating as if we are retarded. And we're not retarded. We are intelligent Negroes, and we should run the country properly. That's what's going on, my spiritual advisor.
Okay, I got you.
All right?
I got you loud and clear.
You're clear on that?
I got you
This is
loud
powerful.
and clear.
You better open up the text,
Do you want me to
because
read
I could
some?
always deal with minutes and housing tomorrow. Nikki Kelly, for the third week, has a wonderful article as she builds a case demonstrating how the F&M is corrupt. We are corrupt. I hate to say it. Us, F&Ms, we are corrupt. We accuse the PLP of corruption. And as soon as you give us power, we are now the new gangsters in town. We said PLP was gangsters, but we are the gangsters now. Our party is a gangster party. That's what's going on. All kind of deals being cut. All kind of crown land given to the foreigners. And Paul Reese Chipman, ministers fire him and ain't man enough to tell us because he ain't got no lawful reason. And he should come out and say, listen, I ain't got no lawful reason. I just fire him. Tired of that Negro. So we got rid of him. That's what he should say.
Oh, man,
You're
harsh in your words.
I'm not harsh.
Let me read some text.
Go ahead, my spiritual advisor.
Here's one text. It says, the government is a foul, Mr. Monica. We're only 11 months in, and they have embarrassed the Bahamian people. There seem to be a lot of lies, and lies won't last forever. Thank you, Mr. Monica, for setting the record straight on the mortgage corp.
Yes.
Minister, sat there and lied again to the Bahamian people. The houses were the mastermind of the former administration.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica and spiritual advisor. When I listen to you sometimes, I have to laugh, Mr. Monica. I wish when the PLP was in power, you was watching and listening.
I was.
Now, how do you do the administration when you would not allow those corrupt politicians, Mr. Monica, that they are? Where were you, Mr. Monica? On the beach with blind eyes and a deaf ear?
That's nonsense. I went on the beach on election day. I told the Bahamian people, if you can't vote PLP, come with me on the beach. Because I knew the party's secret. Look, understand the role and the place that I am in the F&M. I am privy to a lot of information, but I have to maintain my integrity by not coming out and saying it. But because I am privy, I'm able to checkmate them. And it would not be fair if I came out and say to you party secrets, things that were said to me in confidence, then it means that the PLP would have to be aware of me. Take, for instance, all the secrets that the former Prime Minister Hubert Alexander Ingram gives me. I have his blessing. Papa said I could say it. Just don't lie. Watch what Papa's done to me. He said, anything I say to you, you may repeat it subject to one condition. Do not lie. And the day the Right Honorable Hubert Alexander Ingram were to accuse me of lying, I finished with Papa. Because I'm not going to lie on him. Because Papa appointed me in 2013 to be his spokesman. Because Papa discovered that everything I was saying about him was honest. And Papa told me all kinds of things. Most things that you hear me saying, even when I don't call his name, it's Papa who told me. But some things I don't say as Papa because they only can hate him. And I don't want them to hate Papa. Because Papa's a good man.
I snuck a little bit more of that.
You're having?
I took some more of that coconut water.
Listen, this is
yeah. Let me finish reading some more text, Mr. Monica. Mr. Monica, is there any truth that some South American prostitute girls reported to police that had high rank? Oh, sorry, no. You know what? This text is scandalous.
What are they saying? Don't call nobody name. Listen, there is a major ring taking place in the country.
This one is a bit scandalous.
Just hold on. You're going to say it or you're not going to say it?
No, I'm not going to read this text.
Okay, then. There is a major prostitution ring taking place in the country. What are the facts? Let us not be stupid. You cannot have a casino unless there are broads. That is a fact. That is why Brent Seminadati, the late Sir Roland Seminat, joined the Baptists in the 60s or whenever, late 50s, early 60s, and protested against the legalization of casino gambling. Because once a man got plenty money, what you think is the next thing? With money is booze. With money is woman. With money is drugs. These are some reality. And in every advanced society, you try to manage it. But you always know that somebody with money, you got money, is woman, especially if you're young, all right? And if you're not praying, okay? I know. I had a couple of dollars one day and I had to pray. I said, Lord, let me pray. And I quickly gave the money to my wife because the devil was there. Hello, welcome to Freedom March. Hello?
Very pleasant day.
Yes?
Very pleasant day.
Pleasant day?
A pleasant day, happy holiday weekend.
We thank you.
My name is Dr. Dexter Sweetie Dean Thompson.
Okay.
I was trying to get you all over 2 hours.
Okay.
But I guess the system cannot pull in the numbers
well,
that
tell
there
us quickly what you
but I'm
want
only
to say.
calling you all to let the world know that I have already went through the whole entire world today. That my age right now is 65 years old. On April the 3rd, 1953, and I sit here in the Ponderosa. I had not one of the associate friends from none of the media. They say, let's just welcome Sweetie.
Sweetie, today's your birthday? Hold on a second.
That my birthday was coming up on April the 3rd.
This is your birthday?
And this is my birthday.
And how old are you?
I'm 65 years old.
Well, guess what?
And I'm
hold on a second. Hold on a second. Put him on hold. Now, Sweetie, I just put you on hold. Today is your birthday, and tomorrow is my great-grandfather's birthday. Guess what's his name? George Alexander Moncur. He was born the 4th of April, 1861. Tomorrow, if he was alive, he'll be 157 years old. Am I saying it right? My spiritual advisor, bring Sweetie here. Sweetie, happy birthday to you. Okay?
I with you, but I'm only saying to you all as a mentor of the society.
Well, that's what you get for supporting.
I want you to listen to me carefully. Go
ahead.
At the age of 5 years old, I was out there contributing to the society with the Minister of Tourism. And here, that's 60 years ago. And the Minister of Tourism, no government, no one in this Bahamas, only a few friends could call and say, let me see Sweetie. Where is he still living? But I thank God for you, Island Luck, and my minister, and those who were with me, that I'm happy to know that when I was paralyzed, I could get up now and I can express my feelings to the whole world.
Sweetie, we're going to miss you.
In the name of Jesus, because he said all things that we cannot handle, present to him and let the works be done through him. Friends and family and those who are, if they don't come and see you, that they ain't no friends. They are enemies, and that's
okay, Sweetie, you take good care.
I want you to understand, Senator, that you were by my side, and my spiritual leader, you were by my side.
You take good care.
God continue to bless you, that when I lay my head down, I will lay down at the age of 65.
You take good care. Happy birthday, Sweetie. We love you.
He needs some attention.
The weekend, our nation celebrated Carifta. I was not here on the island, but from the reports that I'm receiving, it was poorly attended. It is a serious reflection and indictment on the Free National Movement. They even ran out of medals. Isn't that amazing? They ran out of medals. And I don't know, Bahamians abandoned the National Stadium over the weekend, many of whom were unable to attend Carifta due to serious and growing unemployment and austerity measures by the Minister government. The times are so tough that the persons organizing the games even ran out of Carifta medals to award to the athletes. This was a first and a national embarrassment. The event was a first collapse and bungled for Minister of Sports Michael Pentad, who could not even make sure that the people could get to the National Stadium via shuttles. With morning tickets free, the National Stadium remained empty, with just a section of Jamaican fans cheering the Caribbean athletes to victory. Meanwhile, Bahama Press wants to know, why was it necessary for the B3A's executive to book suite rooms for themselves in the Hilton Hotel in downtown Nassau? Those same high rollers in the B3As, according to Bahama Press, they book those suites for themselves as they behave like the Carifta $2 million budget was their personal funds. And while no executives from the visiting Caribbean countries had passes for the holiday event, Bahama Press can report that less than 4,000 fans attended the weekend event due to poor promotion of the Caribbean Games. We at Bahama Press called for an audit of the B3A's handling of the event. Bahama Press say they report and decide. Hello, welcome to Freedom March.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
We're fine. Speak up a little louder.
I was at the game,
Yes.
and it was poorly organized, poorly attended. But all my concern was parking.
Your concern was what?
Parking.
Parking.
$5 to parking, right?
They charge $5 to park.
The park.
Okay.
But I thought it's the People's Stadium.
Yes.
Mr. Munker,
Yes.
the stadium parking was empty.
Really?
The people park on the other side of the road.
Uh-huh.
The majority of the cars.
Wow. Why? Why did you do it? They can find $5?
I don't understand. I mean, I had a problem paying the $5 too. I mean, I could have paid, but the event already being sponsored by major sponsors.
Yes.
Alan Luck, Alan Game, Flow, BTC, Bahamas Bank, all these sponsors. So
Really?
why you have to, everything should be
Free.
paid for, dealt
Yeah.
with.
Well, it's the people's government. And I don't know what Michael Pintard is doing. Michael was never an athlete, Michael was a poet. Now,
And
if
he-
you want a poet, he can do recitation and he could rhyme. But
And
he was never known for running, to the best of my knowledge. And I knew him when he was young. I used to
Right.
take him in the back of the bush for political training, you see?
Right.
But I lose hold of him. Minutes now got him. And therein lies the problem.
And then also you have, with the Chief Justice, they should, Mr. Isaac is a good man.
A very good man.
He's a good man. He's a approachable,
Yes.
down-to-earth
Yes.
person.
Yeah.
He's for the, he's the people hand-on.
Yeah.
You know?
And I need a Chief Justice, so when the man them don't mind the children, I could tell the woman them quietly, wait till the Chief Justice going in the office, complain to him so he can tell the magistrate, make sure these man mind these children. I have that confidence in Carl Bettel. Okay?
And the presidents have a problem because Mr. Chipman, he is looking for a minister.
Yeah. Listen,
He was looking for it.
you're breaking up now. But
No, I said he was looking for the ministerial post as well.
yeah, they should have made him Minister of Finance. I believe he could.
Prime Minister's
Yeah.
well, spot.
You know what kind of man minister is. I can let you go because you're breaking up, okay?
All right, sir.
Take good care. My spiritual advisor.
We still got some more text.
You have any more texts?
Yeah.
Because the show is running out. Folks, I'm dressed. I'm wearing my priestly collar. I'm playing ombudsman.
Good evening, gentlemen. The stadium looked pretty full to me. The Bahamians want to play politics and don't want to support their own. That's their business because the foreigners enjoy. And I agree with this text, because when I look at the support that came from Jamaica,
You're going to read text? Or are you going to...
I say that I agree with this text.
Okay.
People complain about the stadium.
Oh,
being
you're only saying
empty.
that because you support the F&M.
No, the
Huh?
Carifta is being held in the Bahamas, and if Bahamians wanted to go, the stadium is right there. They could have gone out and support our Bahamian athletes.
Okay.
It was just, to me, it was just like,
It's a lack
I saw so
of
much
leadership.
Jamaican people out there.
When Kendall
supporting their-
Nottage was Minister of Youth, we have had no Minister of Youth, to surpass Kendall Nottage leadership. Our athletes were numero uno. And Kendall Nottage motivated them. And we went in around the Caribbean and we won. Now we've had a bunch of impotent minister of youth. You better go study Kendall Nottage history and learn how to be a good minister of youth, sports, and community affairs.
Good afternoon, Mr. Monica. Good afternoon, all. Are you trying to move everyone to the Eagle Show? Do you know Harbor Island is a gold mine of Bahamas? They say that they want to move everyone to the mainland. Or you hear they say they're going to go to various places. But Harbor Island is the place to be. If
yes.
They want elites and means you know where the elites is. They must want, if they're big time supporters, who are the strong people and not the weak. Honestly, our own is hurting us. I'm trying to understand the text.
Well, you could look at it again tomorrow and read it.
Yeah.
Well, my spiritual advice, I went to Harbor Island.
You had a good time.
I had a wonderful time. My wife had a wonderful time.
And this coconut water is great.
Ross De Niro had a wonderful time. I went to the Coconut Grove Farm in Lower Bog, and I shall go and look for Renwood Belts, the Minister of Agriculture. Renwood, that's me, Brother Monka. Give me a call. My number is 434-5760. Folks, take good care. So many things on my mind, but I had a wonderful time. My wife had a wonderful time. To the people of Harbor Island, I shall never forget your kindness. You're all a wonderful people. God bless the people them of Harbor Island. See you tomorrow.
Good evening, everyone.
If it's God's
The thoughts,
will.
views, and comments expressed by Rodney Monker, his guests, callers, and advisors on Freedom March are not necessarily those of the management, ownership, or production unit of ILS, the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without the express written consent of the Verizon Media Group. Freedom March is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2017. All rights are reserved.